Okay, the second section of this unit now moves in sequence to where we're getting to building a case for any given marketing project. And like any case that needs to be built, you need to start at the beginning. And this is where the sequence of the unit starts to fit nicely, because most of that situation relative to the problem that you've already identified has been covered in the information that was available, whether existing or that had to be acquired. And that can formulate a situation as you find it, which paints the picture relative to the case and has to be established and presented effectively. Yourself and your students might align it with the core audit within the marketing audit profession. What we want to concentrate on is three core areas, and those core areas will be primarily around customers, management, and profit, and effectively project management arenas and scenarios housed within those three core elements of marketing management. Now, from a customer perspective, effectively that's all about segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So who are we going to do business with? Who in the realms or within the scope of the particular project are the customers, existing or potential, that are going to allow us to deliver the objectives that you will have formalised via SMART criteria. From a management perspective, the case needs to have a core and a spine relative to competition. So maybe how are you going to compete? How are you going to position yourself? What are you going to have to invest? And that leads nicely into the final aspect of what we would like an emphasis to be placed upon, which is profit. Now, profit can be a very emotive term and has different definitions in different organisational contexts. Whatever that definition is assumed, whether it's a commercial one or a not-for-profit stroke not-for-loss definition, it needs to be explicit and implicit within any case building towards justification for any project. Effectively, what do you need to invest? What are you going to get in return? So moving on from this whole profit impact relative to case building, very important that there's a relative emphasis placed upon that. Obviously, the justification in the building of any case is going to have a very deep bottom line criteria attached to it. You will utilise top line criteria as you propose and build the case, but it's important that there is evidence that, in the first hand, historical data has been analysed and manipulated to an extent whereby certain scenarios have different impacts. Utilising that historical data relative to what has already been established and acquired, then projections and future forecasts need to be made. And we need those in terms of investment on the one hand, but really potential return on the other. And those need to be projected over a mid to long term period, 3 to 5 years. Finally, you need to write this up. Okay, you've just been formulating it up until this point. Writing it up effectively is the case itself. You have gathered the required information, you've constructed and manipulated the data together, you've moved through a process that now allows you to write up the report. And again, you'll start to see the different sections within the unit have common themes and trends and threads running throughout. So here again, you need to have a core spine running throughout the case. So we know where we are, and we know where we want to be, and we know how we're going to get there and effectively deliver what you're suggesting can be delivered. It's got to highlight the key triggers, which effectively are going to be the key impacts as a result of the case being undertaken, and effectively you're always going to close up with your recommendations relative to input and return.